a bit more of a struggle because I spent most of last night looking for my new roommate's dog. This good boy here, I'm going to put a picture of him here. This is Gotham. And he likes to roam around the neighborhood. The neighbors finally caught him with cheesy garlic bread. He got cheesy garlic bread. We covered 2 or 3 square miles looking for him. He was over at the neighbors getting cheesy garlic bread. I've been on keto for a while now. I might go with the neighbors for cheesy garlic bread. If you have cheesy garlic bread and you're willing to give it to me. Hi, I'm Spyn, and today I'd like to talk to you about a few different things. One thing, well, I guess we'll start with these. These are my new paws. I just got them in. They're from Circle Bird. And I'll put a link, like, right here. Maybe not a link, but this will be their Twitter. Right here, and like an icon, maybe? I don't know. I'm not great at editing, so, something here for them. Right? Either way, they're very comfortable. So, you should go check them out. They're great. So, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have noticed me posting 1 or 2 pictures of my new fursuit from New Creations. His name is Switch, and I commissioned him from New Creations sometime in July of 2017. Now, I principally commissioned Switch from New Creations because I saw New Creations stuff in a video made by Picari. I think I've talked about this maybe, I don't know, but they're located in Poland, which I didn't know at the time. Now, this fact didn't really come up a whole lot until, say, I was getting my duct tape dummy ready to be shipped off. Like, we're gonna do a story time, okay? When I had my duct tape dummy made, I had my roommate help me with it, and that was a uncomfortable sort of event. As anyone who's ever had a duct tape dummy made can tell you, this is a long and tedious process, and hopefully you have a good friend, or hopefully friends, to help you out with this. Anyway, when I had my duct tape dummy made, I went to ship it off. And I chose to do this through UPS, which turned out to be kind of a mistake, because they charged me about $350 to ship it over. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily a good rate or bad one, but I was told later that that was definitely a bad one. So that kind of sucked. Also, there is the kind of awkward situation that you get when the guy behind the counter wants to know what's in the box, and you have to tell him what's in the box. So I sent this package as quickly as I possibly could. I didn't know how long it was going to take them to get to my spot in the queue, but I definitely wanted all of my stuff turned in, paid for, done. I didn't want to have to worry about it. Anyway, this started a bit of a problem, because Polish Customs took my duct tape dummy and would not release it. And we couldn't figure out why for about a week, 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks, I believe. We finally heard back why. It was because there was a hold of $20. It was because there was a hold of $20 on this particular item, because I had registered it being valued at about $40. They had to pay some sort of import tax on this item. That's great, right? So I ended up having to pay that import tax as well, because New Creations wasn't going to pay for that. That was a week worth of frustration just because of that. Now, this story is not necessarily supposed to be a funny story so much as it is a cautionary story, so that if you guys choose to have any of your suits made by New Creations, you'll know what to do and what not to do to sort of avoid this pitfall that you can fall into with Polish customs, which I assure you are nothing short of a nightmare to deal with, because they don't want to talk to you and they don't care. They have your stuff. Give us money or you don't get your stuff. Those are the rules. Right, so I've got time for 2 more stories, so let's do that, okay? So, we're renovating the hotel I work at, and the sprinkler guys came in to replace the sprinkler heads. I think the sprinkler heads were old and they needed to be replaced, so they were going to do that. But to do that, as you might guess, you need to sort of bleed off the system, right? Because you can't just take a sprinkler head off, you get covered in water. Not good. Now, when I came into work that morning, it was about 13 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? They just came by the front desk to inform me that they were going to do this thing. I asked them where it was they were going to bleed off the system, and they were just sort of like, yeah, we're just going to bleed it off right over here. It's just going to go into the road. So then I sort of said, so here is your plan. Okay, this is what you just told me you're going to do. You're going to take 6 floors worth of hotel sprinkler water, and you're going to flood it into the street behind the hotel. And they said, yeah, that's kind of what we plan on doing. That should be okay. And I said, all right, but you're going to do this when it is 15 degrees outside. So that water is going to freeze. And not just freeze on our property, but it's going to freeze on the road, on city property. And I'm fairly certain the city is going to be super angry at us for turning the street next to the hotel into a slip and slide for cars. That might have been one of the singularly more frustrating events that's happened during this whole remodeling. Okay, one more story, and we'll do it about the hotel, about when I was put on night shift. Now, for those of you that have never worked night shift or graveyard shift or whatever you want to call it at a hotel, there are approximately 2 things that are going to happen. Either nothing happens and you spend all night sort of playing video games and watching movies or doing whatever it is you want to do during your period of time. Or you call the police. The only time people are going to come down to you is when they have a really big problem, usually with other people, and at this point they're either really, really drunk or sometimes kind of stoned. So one night I was stuck working night shift like you do, and 2 people come in and they want a room. It's not unusual, but it is a bit rare. It's about 3 a.m. So most people, I don't see hardly anyone during this time period. Usually I'm clear for the rest of the night to play video games and do whatever I want. That's how I like it. Well, this guy comes in with his girlfriend or whatever, and she's wearing sunglasses. And I thought, that's weird, but whatever. He tries to over-identify himself. So he tries to over-identify himself with everything from an expired license to a library card. Not joking. Like, legitimately pulled out a library card and said, will this do for a valid form of ID? I need a license that's valid, or even one that's not. Just give me something with your picture on it and your name and date of birth and whatever. So they want to pay in cash, which is another warning sign. And I tell them, like, we have a credit card policy. I'm terribly sorry. Do you have a debit card or something you can put it on? And he looks at me and he goes, well, does it have to have money on it? Yes! Yes, it does! Of course it has to have money on it. We are putting it on the room for our safety in case you break a bunch of things. So if you put a card on file that has no money on it or has no credit on it, then if you break something, this doesn't help us. And also, why would you tell me that? And it's at this time I sort of noticed that, it's 3 a.m. and this lady's got sunglasses on. Now, he notices me, notice that, and goes, oh, well, she has to wear those because she just got out of an optometrist appointment. What? It's 3 a.m. What optometrist is open? It's at this point that I was just like, oh, I understand now. Both of you are druggies. So I'm sitting there going, no, you definitely still need money on your card. And they said, oh, well, we'll just go put some money into our bank account. Again, it's 3 a.m. Where are you going to put money into your account at 3 a.m. that you can't do over some sort of mobile app? Now, maybe I'm just woefully ignorant of how you might do that. If so, if you know an optometrist that's open at 3 a.m. to service your needs, please put it in the comment down below, because I have been struggling with this for literally years. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like hearing hotel stories, I'll be happy to share some more with you. I've definitely got a lot more stories to tell you about the hotel. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do whatever it is that you want to do, because I can't stop you from doing what you do, and you can't stop me from doing what I do. And as always, I have some words to leave you with. Hell is other people. Bye.